so much more confident in expressing myself, and that's been a great gift.
Life is always changing. And our love
I didn't even know you could go live on YouTube.
gathering around for game day one moment, reconfiguring for entertainment.
Yo, what's good? I didn't even know you could go live on YouTube. I just got a notification saying go live, so I went live. Opinion on the carnivore community, it's pretty stupid. I think those people, everybody wants like a sense of community and wants to belong to something. So I think carnivore is a way, like people are like, oh, carnivore. When in reality, it's a few food groups away from being a solid diet. I mean, meat is super nutrient dense, eggs are super nutrient dense, but I mean, just include some fruits and vegetables, include some dairy. Because of you, I'm going to college to be a nutritionist. No way, bro. That's awesome. I'm really glad that my content was able to inspire you like that. What foods are high in zinc? Oysters are a hack for zinc. Beef's also really high in zinc. I do not drink raw milk. I don't even think they sell it in New York. This is where I live. I live in New York City. From Boston originally, but live in New York. Oh yeah, I'm glad some people are joining here. I didn't even know you could go live on YouTube. It kind of sucks because YouTube doesn't have DMs, so it's like hard to... Yo, yo, yo. What you guys think of the beard? It's new. Decided to grow it out. I'll probably shave it tomorrow, but I'm getting back in the mustache train. Turn my brightness up type shit. How'd I learn all this about nutrition? I mean, just years of research, studying, looking at data. I've just been obsessed with it for a long time. Yeah, I mean, just, I've been putting out content for a while. I've been doing this for over 4 years. And beyond that, I've probably been into nutrition for almost a decade. I have seen the Face IQ thing. He's nobody. He's just looking for attention. Speaks very confidently, though. I'll give him that. Best fruit for skincare other than kiwi for my yogurt bowl? Yeah, I mean, cantaloupe's good. That's high in vitamin A. I mean, so many fruits are high in antioxidants. You got berries are great. Strawberries high in vitamin C, which is good for collagen synthesis, which is good for your skin. Mention one of your videos that cashew butter and dates was a good pre-workout. Explain how this is cashew butter is high in fat. No, the high fat was not the good part about it. I was just speaking more so on the electrolytes. Like, I would not consider that a good pre-workout. I mean, I'm not even a fan of dates either. Oh, whoops. Made me start doing nutrition stuff. I've just been obsessed with it for a long time. I started making content. I had a transformation myself. I used to be pretty overweight, and I started going to the gym and really just kind of fell in love with it. And diet was always the most interesting part to me. I just feel like there's so much to it. It's almost like an art form. And I just learned more and more about it. And I feel like the gym is pretty simple for the most part. There's not much to it, Most people who are in shape do the same exercises. It's all about just being consistent and training with intensity. There's only so much you can talk about. Nutrition, there's so much. And there's so much that people don't talk about. I saw creators like Greg Doucette who just were so one-track minded, and all they talked about was calories in, calories out. So I really wanted to dive more into the micronutrient side of things. I feel like that was something people didn't talk about. It's so important. So that kind of got me fired up to really start making nutrition content. What up, Sir Ozzy? I'm muted. My mic. Oh, so the cashew butter question. Basically, what I was saying was that no, I don't think that's a good pre-workout meal. I was just trying to give her credit, for getting good electrolytes. But no, having fat before the gym generally isn't a good thing. I try to just have carbs, sometimes protein if I haven't had much protein throughout the day. But in that case, I was just kind of, just being positive, but didn't want to be too negative and nitpick the fact that she was having fat before the gym. Nutritionist assigned to my grandfather told me to eat under 150 grams of carbs and cut out sugars, and told him his fat and protein intake didn't matter. Cutting out sugars, I see that. The protein and fat intake not mattering is a little bizarre, as it's extremely important. If I do gym while fasting, how does it affect recovery? I mean, you want to be fueled for the gym, so you want to have some carbs in your system. You want to have the appropriate recovery. So I would say if you're doing like a window where you're only eating within 8 hours, just make sure to get, solid nutrition before and after the gym. So make sure your workout is within that window. You put me on to kiwi. Let's go. What made me start working out? It was my senior year of college. I think I was 21 years old, and I just was sick and tired of being the fat guy. And I was skinny growing up, went to college, started drinking a lot and going out and just eating like shit, not going to the gym. I wasn't playing sports anymore, and I got kind of fat, and it sucked. And one day, New Year's resolution 2018, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to commit to 1 month and see where that gets me, and started seeing some results, and I never looked back. Is salmon or beef more nutrient dense? I mean, like, nutrient for nutrient, probably salmon, but I mean, they both have their advantages. Salmon's really high in omega-3s, vitamin D, vitamin E, whereas beef is also going to give you zinc, iron. Salmon's also super high in B vitamins. They're both high in B vitamins. What tier would the bananas be? I think they're probably C tier, maybe B tier. I forget which one I put them in, but they're not like super nutrient dense, but they are a good source of potassium, a good way to get quick carbs before a workout. And they're cheap too. Bro, you so goated. Always eating my genius bowls and kiwis. Let's go. Do you eat oats at all? I personally don't. I used to. I just kind of don't eat them, but I have no problem with them. I would eat them. I don't know. I just never really think to eat them. What do you think is the best kind of diet for someone who's a tennis player? I know nutrition for sports performance and hypertrophy are different. Yeah, I mean, as a tennis player, you're going to be burning a lot more calories. You're going to need more calories. You're going to need to consume more calories. Make sure that you're fueling properly, hydrating, getting your electrolytes, maybe some intra-workout nutrition. Make sure you're recovering properly. But yeah, I mean, you're going to probably need more sodium than the average person, probably more potassium, magnesium, B vitamins for energy, iron, calcium too for bone health. Hey bro, recently subscribed, man. Love the content. I lost 180 pounds on animal base, bro. Eating the same fruits you always explained. 180 pounds is a ton, bro. Like, that is huge. That is insane, bro. Like, congratulations. That's something to be super proud of. Not many people can do that. So, I've never lost that type of weight in my life, and most people haven't. So you should be super proud of yourself, man. If you're on a fat loss journey, do you usually suggest avoiding fruits like watermelon or dates? No, definitely not watermelon. Watermelon's like very high in water. It's pretty satiating, like high volume. Dates, yes. I probably wouldn't be eating too many dates on a fat loss journey, unless you're just having them before the gym or something like that, but not something I would snack on, as it's, it's pretty much just sugar, not too much fiber. Are tuna steaks nutrient dense? Very nutrient dense. Thought some people who do the carnivore diet. I talked about that a little bit earlier. Fruit juice is not a huge fan. I mean, a lot of it's concentrated sugar. Is it okay that I consume 20 eggs per day? I mean, that's a lot of eggs, man. That's a lot. You got to leave room for other stuff in your diet. Can I take stim pre-workout at 17, or should I go stim free? Well, bro, I'm 28. I'm freaking pushing 30, and I take stim free. I just, I drink coffee. I don't really need caffeine from pre-workout, and like they're dosed so high. They have so much caffeine that, I'd probably just stick to the stim free. We're getting a little bit of light here. what I go to college for, finance and information systems. I noticed you spread out your approach more than most other nutrition influencers who demonize carbs, fiber, fruit, and vegetables, aka carnivore YouTubers, but also keto and some others. What do you think of this? Yeah, I mean, I'm all for a balanced diet. I think people love sticking to these trends and following a fad, and like they want to belong to some sort of group or label. At the end of the day, the answer is very simple. It's a balanced diet. You know, you need your vegetables, fruits, meat, dairy. That's going to be your best bet. Why don't you ever include the macros and calories in your videos? The main reason for that is because I want people to focus on micronutrients. There's a million creators talking about calories and macros. You don't need me for that. Most people who are looking at my content understand calories and macros, and I don't want people to be too focused on calories and macros, right? So when I talk about a video and I'm like, hey, this is going to give you 80% of your vitamins, 80% of your minerals, you know, it's going to be in a 1,000-calorie meal usually. And a lot of people will see that and be like, oh my God, 1,000 calories. But you have to understand, it's giving you 80% of your nutrients for the day. And at the end of the day, you need to consume calories. Like, you know, even if, you know, I'm eating 2,700 calories a day. So 1,000-calorie meal really isn't a lot. But I just want people focusing more on the micros. That's what my content's about. Do I drink coffee? Yep. Thoughts on dates? I'm not a huge fan. You know, they're not super nutrient dense. You know, it's kind of just concentrated sugar, not high in fiber. You know, if you're trying to bulk, I mean, they're a good, healthy, natural source of sugar. But it's not something I would go crazy with. Do you think drinking whole milk is fine? My dad is saying it's very bad for you because of fat and sugar. I drink like 5 cups a day. 5 cups is a lot, but no, whole milk is great, especially if you're a kid and you need that calcium to develop your bone structure, prevent injuries, prevent osteoporosis later in life. Recovering from an injury, calcium is going to be super important for reasons I just said. Thoughts on the animal-based diet, Paul Saladino? I don't hate it, right? The animal-based diet, you can make that work. You can make it super nutrient dense. I think there's a few issues. I think the fact that they demonize vegetables is an issue. I think that the fact that I think it's a little bit over restrictive. But I think overall it's a good diet, and I think it's helped more people who go on it. Like usually it's healthier than the standard American diet. So thoughts on seed oils? Like I don't use seed oils. I don't cook with them. I don't buy products that have them. But if I'm going out to a restaurant, I'm expecting them to use seed oils, and that's fine. Having them here and there isn't going to be a big deal. We do, man, when you actually break everything down to a T and are consistent calorie counting, the micronutrients becomes very easy. Sometimes you don't have to count no more. I don't know what GOTUS is. Is fat-free milk good for cutting? Yeah, sure. As long as you're getting your fat somewhere else. Is it actually worth it to get raw milk? Probably not. Where's the long-form videos? I know, bro. I'm going to be coming out with a lot more soon. I've been slacking on that, and I hate to keep you guys waiting because you guys are the best. Like, you guys have shown so much love. So I'm definitely going to get to work on that soon. Would you guys want to see, like, day in the life, more, like, into my personal life? Because I'd be happy to do that. Chobani yogurt, I'm not sure that specific brand, but, I mean, just make sure it's no added sugar. Do you like coconut water? I prefer it over Gatorade. Yeah, it's good. I think it's usually kind of expensive, though. How do you balance the sports performance versus hypertrophy diet if you want to gain muscle but also perform well in your sport? Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, you want to be spacing out your workouts and your sports appropriately. You want to make sure you're fueling both, recovering. Worst influencer out there? I'm not really a negative person. I don't like to think about who's the worst. Probably I don't know. I don't. That's negativity. I don't like to talk like that. Love how you break down most people's eating routines and calling them out. That's the type of exposure we need. Kiwi gang, let's go. One question: if you have a taller and naturally bigger frame, do you need to get more vitamins or minerals than the average human, or is it the same for everyone? Well, the RDIs don't really vary. The RDIs are based on age, gender, pregnancy status, things like that. But for certain nutrients, yes. But that's more nuanced. The RDIs aren't going to change, but there are certain nutrients where that could come into play. Golden kiwis are fantastic, really good source of vitamin C. Similar mineral profile to green kiwis. How much would you recommend cutting fats versus carbs on a cut? I would say on a cut, get enough carbs, get enough net carbs to fuel and recover from your workout. Get obviously a gram of protein or more per pound of body weight, and the rest from fats. Keep getting on YouTube Live. I didn't even know YouTube Live was a thing until just now. How much red meat do I need daily? I'm a 15-year-old male. I mean, there's no specific amount. Like, you just want to make sure you're hitting your overall nutrients. And red meat's going to be a good source of B vitamins, zinc, and iron. So, I mean, just making it work. Making post-workout meal right now, sardines, eggs, and white rice. Fire, bro. Make a kiwi shirt. Would you guys buy a kiwi shirt? What app do I use for tracking the micronutrients? I got my own app coming out, hopefully very soon, like 3 weeks type shit. Almond almond milk is 450 milligrams of calcium per cup, which is 30 calories. What do you think about it? I mean, it's fortified. It's not actually naturally that high in calcium, so it's basically the same as taking a calcium supplement. More tier lists, I know, they're coming. A day in the life, I'm down. My life isn't that exciting, though. I mean, I work a corporate job. Like, I do the same stuff you guys do, but maybe you guys would find that relatable. Best options for fast food in restaurants, in my opinion. Chipotle is great. Cava is fantastic. Those are like two good ones. Sweet Green's fantastic. You can make anything work. Anytime you have like a Mexican place, you can always make that work. Get double meat. That's the key, really. Just get double meat wherever you go. Do you think people can grow at 19? I think my dad had a growth spurt in college. It's rare. Canned sockeye salmon's fantastic. That's a great way to save money. You can have the same nutritional profile, but cheaper. How long did it take you to adopt the new lifestyle of emphasizing on micronutrients? How long before you started seeing results? That's a great question. So it really started with me having ADHD and getting off of ADHD medication. And I was like, okay, there has to be a way to optimize my focus and mental clarity naturally without this horrible pill. So I started focusing on what I could eat for brain health. And then that ballooned into just focusing on all of my micronutrients. And I saw results very quickly. You always mentioned vitamin F. What is that? Not much info on it. Vitamin F is just flavor. It's just an inside joke. Nutrient tier list. I don't know. What would you guys want to see? I see you everywhere online. Thank you. Hell yeah. You think vegans can still optimize their diet? Not really. I mean, they can't get B12 anywhere. Is running in my training routine? It is, but not for hypertrophy. Like, running does not really help with building muscle. I just do it for fun. I went for a run today. Love your content. Appreciate it. Starting to intake the Genius Bowl and absolutely love it. Let's go. Thoughts on Santa Cruz the fuck? Is creatine okay to consume for adolescents? Depends on your age. Kiwi Gang shirt would be sick. New Zealand, what up? I appreciate you guys saying you're going to download the app. It's going to be really cool. Thoughts on hemp seeds? I mean, hemp seeds are a good source of fiber. I wouldn't eat them for the omega-3s. Favorite food? I love eggs. I love beef, burgers. Favorite, like, unhealthy food would probably be, like, French fries. Bench max, I don't really max out. I'll put up, like, what is it? 245 for, like, 8 reps. I never max out, so I don't really know what my max is. How did you start making content and get over the barrier of putting yourself out there? I just ripped it one day. I just went on TikTok. I didn't tell anybody about it. I started putting out content. I started like researching like how to, get some traction. And luckily for me, like a few of my first couple videos started doing really well. So I got that momentum. And by the time people I knew who I wasn't like super close with found out about my page, it was like too late for them to hate. So I would say like just start making the content, and like if people find out about it, then you're crushing it, and it's gonna be too late for them to hate. Um, and yeah, I mean now over 4 years in, this is just what I do. Like people know me as the guy who creates content. Like I never was like that. There was a point in my life where like if somebody heard I was making content, they'd make fun of me because that wasn't who I am, but I just did it. And once you do something, that's who you become. Best creator, man. Love the vids. Appreciate that. Not worst fitness influencer, but fitness influencer gives the worst advice. Love your vids, bro. I don't know. I just don't. I don't even like think like that. Like my content, if you haven't noticed, it's mostly like hyping people up. I don't really like to come at people. Um, Fitness creator gives the worst advice. I don't. I don't really like even pay attention to people like that, to be honest. I'm 28. New Zealand, what up? Is canned fish still full of nutrition even though it's farmed? It's not always farmed. They have wild caught sockeye salmon at Trader Joe's, and even if it is farmed, it is still full of nutrients. You're gonna eat a Big Mac drenched in Red 49? What's Red 49? What does iron do for you nutrient-wise? So much. I mean, mainly it just gives you energy. For females, it's especially important to replace the blood lost during your menstrual cycle. I've heard of the vertical diet. Does focusing on micronutrients significantly help results in the gym? I don't know, bro. Look at me. This isn't really a good angle, but I mean, I don't know. The one guy who focuses on micronutrients, I would say I have pretty abnormal physique. But yeah, I mean, it does, as the answer to the question. I mean, it's going to help with your energy in the gym, your recovery, just overall muscle building. It's going to make a huge difference. I don't know what GODIS is. Most important nutrients for women's mental health. I mean, it's not going to be different for men and women. I mean, stuff that's important for brain health, like choline, omega-3s, iron. Like if you have an iron deficiency as a woman, it's really important to get more iron as a woman. You need about twice as much if you're menstruating. So that's going to be important. Pacers or Thunder? Oh, I forgot that's on tonight. I think the Thunder are going to win. Whole Foods definitely better than multivitamin. French fries can still be made healthy, yes, but like I think it's one of those foods where it's one of the only foods where I'll actually admit just the unhealthy ones objectively taste a lot better. Any thoughts on how to stay relatively healthy at a high body weight? I play football at 300 pounds and I can't cut till I'm done with sport. I mean, bro, that's where it's like, are you going to the league? Like, what? Like, you have to is it worth it? I mean, because being at a high body weight like that is not healthy. Like, there's no way around that. I mean, you can still just eat a lot of food, but make it healthy food and still hit your nutrients. But, yeah, man, it's just kind of it's almost similar to bodybuilding where people are like purposely becoming malnourished. Is it fine to lift weights fasted every day? I'd probably recommend getting in some food before. Top 3 fruits, probably blackberries, kiwis, blueberries. Yeah, supplement vitamin D in the winter. Favorite sport, probably b-ball, basketball. How do I balance work, training, and content creation? Is it just lock-in time? Yeah, I mean, I just been locked in, bro. I'm passionate about this stuff. I find a way to make it work, and this is like my hobby. Like I don't really watch TV. I don't I spend time with friends, family, but like when I have time, I'm working on content. I'm plotting. And training's a non-negotiable. Do I have caffeine for pre-workout? No. What's good, my guy Bob? Kiwi gang. Ashwagandha, stuff like that, I'm not a huge fan of. Is it possible to get all vitamins and minerals from smoothies? I mean, technically speaking, yeah. I mean, you can put anything in a smoothie. You want to put oysters in a smoothie. Yeah, hopefully I can finish those. I mean, there's not many fruits and vegetables left. They're getting very niche at this point. Vitamin E sources, almonds are great. What I usually do on my rest days, I guess go live on YouTube because today's a rest day. Blueberries with Greek yogurt, fire. Having trouble getting carbs. Like I said earlier, enough carbs to fuel and recover from my workouts. What platform pays you the most? If I were posting consistently, it would probably be YouTube if I were doing long form. TikTok has paid me the most. I think I made, off TikTok ad revenue last year, I think I made $25,000. The most I've made in a month on TikTok is 4,000. The least I've made is like 1,000. So it kind of ranges there. But this month my views are in the gutter on TikTok. So like this month I'm going to make like record lows. But hopefully soon it'll be YouTube because you guys, I feel like we got a solid squad up here, and I'm sure you guys will support my long form. Would you guys want to see like day in the life type stuff? Full day eating, more like vlog style shit? Do you build systems to support your habits, hobbies, and so to get locked in? I try to like use calendars. Best fruit for vitamin A, cantaloupe. Pumpkin seeds are a great source of magnesium. Foods, like foods? No, it's that foods. Foods. Genius Bowl has been my go-to for a couple weeks now. I'm addicted to it. I add granola to it some days. Great recipe. Appreciate that. Favorite shoulder exercise? Man, I gotta love them lateral raises, bro. Those always go crazy. The pump's nuts. Thoughts on 1 or 2 diet sodas a week? Totally fine. What should I use? A pre-workout instead of powdered processed pre-workout? Bananas, Celtic sea salt. I mean, if you don't want to go with an actual pre-workout, I mean, maybe just electrolytes or something with electrolytes like kiwis, bananas, and some sodium, some salt. He got that Maryland accent. I actually did go to University of Maryland, but I definitely don't have a Maryland accent. I say foods. Maryland accent is like when they say, like, instead of pull, they say pool. I do low volume. Low volume as in like 6 to 8 reps. Are my messages going through? Are you ignoring me? I haven't. Okay, best breakfast if you don't have time to cook. I mean, I would maybe microwave eggs. Like, that could be quick. Aiden plays and eats. Sillz, you're my goat. I actually love you. Holy moly, Kiwi gang. What's up, brother? Love you too, bro. You should do Eddie Hall's diet when he was training for strongman. The problem is those people consume so many calories that, like, they're getting all their nutrients. No question. Putting on liver, it's not a multivitamin like people make it out to be, but it definitely is rich in vitamins and minerals. How much do I spend monthly on food? Not that much because I have meal prep, which I get delivered for free for like all my meat. But I go to the grocery store like every day, probably spend like $15 a day. So like, I guess $4.50 a month. When I do recipes and stuff, that's like costs some money. Dates with peanut butter and salt, I would not say that's the best pre-workout because, you don't want to be having too much fat before the gym. Alright, how do I mute somebody on here? Because this guy timeout. That's wild. Am I like a quarter black? I'm actually half black. Yeah, I just blocked EA from the chat. Reg, what's good, bro? Why should you say you're verified? Thank you for putting us on how great eggs are. Let's go. Have you played basketball at any point? Also, favorite basketball player? Yeah, I played through my freshman year. My favorite player is Rondo. My goat. Dietary is definitely good because of calcium. Best pre-workout meal, kiwis. I don't know. Kiwis are a little bit high in fiber for a pre-workout meal. Sometimes I'll have like a banana and a kiwi, something like that. Yeah, I saw the Face IQ dude's video. I mean, he's a nobody. He's just looking for attention. He just speaks very confidently about stuff that isn't true. But, I mean, to each their own. Yeah, Rondo's my favorite player of all time. Can I convince your brother that dairy is good? I mean, if your brother's a kid, tell him he needs the freaking calcium to make sure that he develops strong bone structure. Best foods to eat during sports. I mean, anything with quick carbs and electrolytes, like stuff like bananas are great. You know, even something like dates could be good. I don't watch UFC. I cannot dunk. Kiwis are good. Best food for sleeping. A chicken's good because that's tryptophan. Anything with magnesium. If you guys don't already, if you guys want like specific videos or specific people for me to review, I don't think you can DM me on here, but DM me on Instagram. You can definitely meal prep eggs because I've done videos on egg meal prep. Where does the name Sillz come from? My last name is, I'm not going to say it, but it's basically just short for my last name. And my first name's Adam, by the way, for those who don't know, which I think is everybody. How do I answer so many questions at once? I mean, bro, this is what I do. Respect from Italy. I studied abroad in Rome. You're the evolution equivalent of a face. I don't know what GOTUS is. Yo, has anybody here been to Greece? I'm planning a trip there right now. Trying to figure it out. Need recommendations for Mykonos and Santorini, and even Athens. I'm gonna be in Athens a little bit. Pretty stoked. This is dope, dude. I didn't even know you could go live on YouTube. Got 65 people in here. This is fire. Bands of Bolognese with Genius Bowl. Yo, tag me on Instagram with these. Olive oil maxing for sure. All right, guys, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna start doing these more often. If you guys have video ideas for me, DM me. Really appreciate all of you guys, all the love in my videos. Means the world to me. I'm so glad that I was able to come to YouTube and get this type of support. So Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and much more good content on